We'd like to work on triceps and biceps today, and then also put some work into his core as well. Scott, in the past, whenever you were training, what kind of weights were you using whenever you did like a regular standing bicep curl?
Usually about 20 or 25 pounds, depending where I was just starting out.
Okay. Based upon the fact that the exercise I'm going to have him doing first is a secured position, I'm going to take that down about 5 pounds. So what he could normally do at 20 pounds, in this exercise, is probably going to be about 15 pounds. It will be 5 pounds less than that. How about also for a tricep? Whenever you were working out before and you did triceps, have you done kickbacks before from the secured position?
Yes, I think probably 20,
okay.
25 pounds, right around that same area.
Kickback, you must be thinking of a different exercise, because a tricep kickback, usually you're going to be in a very lightweight exercise. So I'm going to estimate for you about 8 pounds. Okay, and we'll try that, and if you can do the 20, we'll bring it up. Okay. All right. And then the last exercise would be a delt exercise. In the past, when you've done flies or you've done forward delt raises or front delt raises, what kind of weights did you use then?
Probably 5 to 10 pounds.
Okay, sounds good. All right, good. Grab your weights. I'll be right with you, Scott. All right, so we'll start out with the right-hand side. And what I want you to do, Scott, first off, is take your left knee and I want you to position it right here on the pad. Good. I want your left arm to be overhand, directly below your shoulder. So go ahead and bring it back just a little bit. Good. And then drop your shoulder forward. Okay. Now the exercise you're going to start out with is going to be, can I touch your wrist here to show you? All right, I want you to turn that palm flat. You're going to start out first off with a bicep curl. The most important thing to do whenever you're doing any exercise is to put it over a foundation. The foundation for almost every exercise is abs in. Proper form means chest is going to be abs in. That means your chest is up and you have a neutral spine position. So that from the head down to the tailbone, you get a nice straight. So we'll start with here, and what I want you to do is take 15 pounds in your hand. Good. Keep your eyes level here. I want you to take a deep breath, exhaling on exertion, and curl it up to your shoulder. All right, there, and down. And again, bring him up slow. 2, good, and down. Now the key point to this exercise, bring him again. 3, is to not let your elbow slide backwards as you do it. Okay, the tendency, 4, is to want to push that elbow backwards, but that elbow needs to stay pinned, 5, in one spot. I can feel you pushing on me. I'm going to remove my hand in just a little bit. Exhale, hold, 6, and then down. So you're breathing in here, exhale here. 7, good. Slow on the way down. Perfect. I'm going to let you have it. And again. 8, good. And down. Can you feel the bicep working?
Yes, it's a lot harder.
Okay. And 9, can you give me 12? Are you feeling any discomfort at all?
No.
All right. 10, good. And down. Give me 2 more. 11, you're breathing out as you come up. And again, 12, good. And stop. Let me take that from you. Stay in that same position. Let's go from there into your tricep. So if you'll take a palms in position, the elbow is in line with your back, looking down again like you had it. Drop your head just a bit. Okay, neutral spine position. Now from here, kick it back behind you. Drive it straight back, hold, and down. Now this one you want to hesitate at the top for a second, and then drop it back down. Again, the breathing is the same. Exhale on exertion, and down. Perfect. And again, here's 4. And down. Squeeze, hold. 5. Good. And down. That's it, Scott. 6. And down. And again, 7. Hold. And down. Can you feel your tricep? 8. Flexing. And down. Your form is great. 9. Hold. And down. Again, drive it up. 10. Good. See it? 12. 11. Hold. And down. One more time, please. 12, and down. Good, let's drop the arm all the way down. The last exercise in this sequence is going to be palm turned out to the side. Now this is for the rear delt. I want you to stop short on the other side of the injury, okay? So this one is your strong arm. Go ahead and take it up at full range of motion to the side. Hold, and then take it back down. You're working the rear delt muscle and bring it up, and again, exhale, hold, and down. Good, let's go 12 again. 3, perfect, and down. Drive it up. 4, hold, and down. Good, Scott. And 5, and slow on the way down. Always resist. 6, the momentum on the way down. You're putting the brakes on. And again, 7, that's it. And slow. And again, 8, breathing in here. Good, that's the way. 9, Excellent. And again, abs are held in, right? 10, and up. 11, and down, and again. 12, and well done. Good. All right. All right. Any problems? Any questions? No. All right. Let's go to the other side. Okay. Let me grab your weights. Come around. So let's do the opposite side. And let's have your right knee down, right arm down. Okay. Here's your position. Again, remember with that one, I think. Okay. Okay. Overhand position again. That's good. And let me hand it to you. Are you ready? Okay. Arms straight. And again, bring it up. And pull, and come up just a little bit higher if you can. Hold all the way down. Good. I can feel you pushing on me again. 3. Keep it pinned in that spot. 4. Good. After 5, I'll let you have it. 5. Good, Scott. And down. 6. Good. And down. 7. And down. 8. And down. 9, good, and down, flex that bicep, 10, and down, a few more, 11, hold, and down, one more time, 12, good, and stop and rest. Good, let me take it from you, okay, again, triceps, palm in, elbow up, and lined up on side of you, good, okay, let's go ahead and lock this out back behind you and hold it for 1 count, okay, drive it out, 1, can you drop your elbow just a little bit, there you go, and bring it in. Slow, and again, drive it out and hold. 2, squeeze, and down. Good. Isometrics are key. 3, when you're doing, go ahead and keep your eyes level. There you go. And up when you're doing any kind of an exercise, because what you're wanting to do, 4, is flex that muscle as hard as you comfortably can. 5, so that you're working the muscle not only with the weight that's in your hand, but you're flexing the muscle and working it from the inside through isometrics as well. Does that make sense? Yes. 7. Good. That way you get more out of every rep. And again, 8, good, and down, give me 12, please. 9, good, and down, drive it out. 10, good, give me 2, and breathing out. 11, good, and down, one more time, squat, and up, good, and got it. Okay, overhand position, let's turn it this way, take it out to the side. Now this is the injured area, okay, so only take it out to that point where you start to feel the pressure. Don't exceed that, if you will, okay? Take them out slow, okay? 1, and down. Gradually, 2, I'm hoping that your range of motion will increase as you strengthen that area. 3, and in. Again, breathing out. 4, hold, and down, perfect. 5, and down. 6, good. Will you drop your chin just a little bit? There you go. 7, that's well, and up, 8, and down, 9, good, keep it going, 10, a few more, 11, and down, one more time, 12, hold, and stop and rest, got it, good, well done. All right, let's go into a standing curl now. If you will, can I have you take a stance here? And let's do it shoulder width apart. I'm going to give you dumbbell curls. And on these, get your other 15. Do you see another 15 anywhere down there? There's 1. Good. Scott, now take a shoulder width stance. Can I have your chin up, eyes level? Remember the foundation again. Abs in. Okay? Good posture. It's always over every exercise. Now I want to do an alternating bicep curl. And when you do this, I want to watch your form to make sure that weight is not too heavy. I want your hands on the side of you. As soon as your right arm clears your leg, I want you to turn it flat, bring it slowly up towards your shoulder, exhaling, and then breathe in as you lower it back down. And again, right arm first. Go ahead and bring it up, flatten, and slow on the way down, turn it in. Good. And can I have that palm turn quicker? Say, turn it as soon as you come past that leg. And down. Okay, and again, breathing out. 2, good. And then rotation, slow. And again, slow. Good. And down. You kind of rest your weight into your heels a little heavier. 3, you're tending to lean forward. I don't want that. And again, so settle some weight into your heels. 3. And up. And again, drive it out. 4. Good. And up. That's it. Good. And again. Let's go 12. 5. Lift your chin again. 5. Good. Be controlled. Drive it up. Focus. Feel that bicep flex. 6. At the top of every rep. Hold it. And down. Good. And again, flex it. 7. And resist. Good. And down. You got him. 8. And up. Good. And down. Drive it up. You got it, Scott. Looking good. 9. 9. 10. Adjust your posture. Abs in. Keep your chest up. Good. 11. That's the way. 11. Again, lift the chin. 12. Good. And again. 12. Good. And stop and rest. Good. Now, whenever you do any kind of a bicep curl, the tendency is always going to be to lean forward because you got the weight in front of your body. So as you're doing a bicep curl, and if you can do it with proper form, you do want to settle a little more of your weight into your heels so that you're resting backwards, abs and chest up, and fight that tendency to lean into it or to watch your bicep as you're doing it. A lot of people want to watch their arms as they're curling. And proper form would be for you to keep your eyes level, use the mirror. You know what I'm saying? And I know right now we're not facing into it, but that's the purpose of the mirror also. That way you can keep strong form, keep your form where it needs to be, and you can still assess that you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're not looking down at your body. Does that make sense? All right. Now let's do a core exercise before I take you into another tricep exercise. And this is going to prepare us for the next tricep as well. So if you could, let me have you come on over here. I want you to take your seat on the ball, and then I want you to slide out over the ball so that your head and shoulders are bridged on the ball, but your knees are bent. You're going to have your left hand supporting yourself on the bench. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So please, take a seat here, facing this way.
Okay.
Carefully, from here, walk yourself down, slow, slow, slow. Head and shoulders are on the ball. Good. Now that's your beginning, okay? Now, from that position, I want you to lift your hips up high. All right, now that's a bridge position. Your right arm stays on your hip. Good, okay? Just like that. Good. Now, your left hand is your stability. Now, what I want you to do is take your left leg, extend it out, and hold it for 10 counts. Ready? Holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch it down. Did you feel the hamstring working on this side? Okay? Again, keep the hips up. That's critical. The tendency is going to be to flatten them out. Okay, and again, same leg, we'll do it twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch down. Perfect. One more time, Scott. Give me 10. Lift your hips up and extend it out. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go neutral. Now stay there in that position. Now let's do another tricep. Since you're already in that form, in that position bridged out, keep your hips up. Let me have you go ahead and secure this arm by leaving it like it is. Take this one all the way up on a tricep extension. So you're going to keep this elbow at a slight angle away from your chest. If it's straight above, you're not going to have that constant pressure on your tricep, okay? So it's more effective at an angle away.
Okay.
Soften through the elbows, bring it back to your shoulder, holding it in, and then exhale and drive it up. 1, and again. 2, a little slower, hold it up there. 3, hold, take it down, pause. Now, 4, good. Hesitate on the bottom. Again. 5, hold, good. And down, don't forget to breathe. 6, good. And down, continue. 7, that's the way. I'm going to let you have this, keep the elbow where it's at. Good. And down. 10. Knock them up, be control. Breathing. 11, that's the way. Come on. And 12. Good. Now take it. Now, carefully, go ahead and lower yourself down to the ground. And let's go ahead and stand up and we'll turn it around. Any questions on those? Any comments?
That really burned.
Okay.
Yeah, felt that one.
Okay. All right, let's take your seat here again. Walk yourself down. Get yourself positioned again. All right, you want that hand over hand on the bench on the right-hand side. Left hand, the hip is going to be there, and you do want your heels a little further underneath you, so you got a little more base, a little more platform. Good. Okay, now lift the hips up. 10 count hold. Inside leg extends. 1, 2, 3. Good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Touch down. Okay, you all right? Bring it up and again. Holding and extend. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and down. Just breathe in and out as you're doing this, okay? Don't forget to not breathe and hold your breath. Okay, here we go again. Last one. Bring it out and hold. Good, Scott. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Drop it down. Bring your arm up, please, if you will. Okay, maybe hold here. And again, remember that you got that angle on there. Elbow in, down, slow. Is this hurting your shoulder?
Yeah.
This is your injured area. So, okay, good. Okay, drop it down. Exhale as you come up, please. 2, maintain that angle. I can feel you pushing on me. You don't want to do that, okay? 3, good. I'll let you have it at 5. 4, good. And again. All right, now you got to keep it angled backwards. Okay, and again. 5, good, Scott. Lift your hips a bit. They're falling. 6, great form. And again. 7, lock it out. You got them. 8, and down. 1 more. 10, good, bring them back. 11, 1 more. 12, got it. Good. All right, well done. Okay, come up off of it, please. All right, any questions on the exercise that I took you through today?
No?
Not really? Okay, thank you. Hello. After any kind of a program that I've taken someone through, often one of the challenges is just getting them to remember all the exercises. In the past, I have just written them out and tried to be very descriptive in my program sheet that I give to them. But I found as another aid that's really helped out has been these little digital cameras. And so when I've completed a fitness routine and taken someone through a set of exercises, and I expect that individual to do this on their own, often I encourage them to take a picture of me doing every exercise so that they have not only a written blueprint, if you will, of the program, but also that they have a visual blueprint, like a magazine, a mini magazine, fitness magazine of what we just covered. So Scott, would you mind just taking a picture of each exercise that I took you through? So the first one that you did was the bicep curl, and you were in a secure position. You had your left arm down, and you want to be from this position. So if you'll take one picture here. Okay, and then you want to take another one here. Okay, and for triceps, you did your kickback. So you want to take a picture here, and then here. There you go. All right, and then for the deltoids, the rear delt combination, you want to go ahead and take one here. And then one out to the side here. Okay. And then I had you go into also a standing bicep curl. And so for the standing bicep curl, if you will, let me have you take a picture just here. Okay, and then also here. And Scott, do you need a picture of the rotation of the hand, or will you remember that?
I'll remember that.
Okay. All right, and then last of all, I want you to take a picture of the sequence that I had you do for the core and for the triceps. So when you go ahead and set this here. And so your first one will be from this position, so you know you're set up on the ball. Okay, and then I'm going to wait for that flash to start back up again before I stick my leg out there. Okay, and then give me and then one here. You can get even with me here.
She's not coming back out.
And okay, and then your tricep as well. So you want to take the tricep, and if you can you see the angle on my arm as I'm doing this?
Yes.
Okay, that is critical on tricep. Okay, and then here. And then that would be your program. So that the client, when they're done with the routine, not only do I give them a sheet that they can take home, but also then they can print up those pictures on the computer and have, like I said before, a visual reference as well.
Working out every day, put my biblical muscles to play.
From a personal trainer standpoint, it's harder, and that's why I asked you which one you were, because in an aerobics class, it's really hard to get people to understand how to correctly contract their abs. I think it's one of the hardest muscle groups to get somebody to contract. I've been in personal training now for 10 years, and I've been in aerobics for about 15. And I just tell you, probably 99.5% of the people in the abs class, in your aerobics class, are doing it wrong or incorrectly. Because it takes a lot of neurological to get the ab muscle to contract, because the ab muscle runs this way, and we're so focused when we're down on the ground in curling up. So we lose the function neurologically on how to maintain, because we're so busy on getting in 50 reps in 5 minutes, because, you know, let's face it, in an ab class or an aerobics class, you get maybe 5 to 10 minutes, and you're trying to do as much as you can in that 5 to 10 minutes, because the education on abs is not really out there. So, you know, you're trying to push that in that amount of time. So, to effectively work the abs, I like to take people one-on-one, then they can get it. They can train it neurologically. Now, does everybody know what I mean by the neurological response to get a muscle to contract? A lot of people don't understand that. The back muscle, the chest muscle, the glutes, and I say the abs is probably the hardest. When I start training somebody, I may go 6 weeks before I tell them how to contract their ab muscles. And they'll say, wait a minute, what about my abs? And I'm like, you'll get abs indirectly. You don't need to isolate it out. But it's a misconception that we formed from aerobics that we've got to do abs, 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 abs. We've got to isolate it out. And then we create frustration for the client, because they're thinking in their mind, abs means I'm leaner. But that's not true. Cardiovascular is going to get them leaner. So, yes, you can tone the muscle underneath, but you know, to get to that point, you know, you have to train them neurologically. So usually a beginner would be 6 weeks to train their neurological system to get them to do abs. And 6 weeks is quite a lot. Sometimes I can tell by a client that I have, I've been doing it so long, I can tell if they're going to pick it up quickly, or I can tell if it's going to take me longer with them to work on training their abs. Usually how I start out is with a client, and we'll do this, like we'll pair up, since we've got about 6 of us here. I won't start them on the ball, but I'll start them on the floor. And I'll have them lay next to me. I use a lot of touch in personal training. You have to make sure the person that you're working with is comfortable with touch, because I do touch them, and I want them to touch me so that they can neurologically figure out how to contract that muscle. So I'll do a demonstration here where I'll lay down, and I'll let you all come by and feel. I'm going to do a right way and a wrong way of contracting the abs. Now that would be without any movement. Okay, so sometimes in our head we've got the movement of going up as what our goal is, and in our mind we're trying to get the client to neurologically contract that muscle before they go through the movement. So it's kind of like a reverse order in the brain. It's not about how high can I get and, you know, using all my other muscles to get me up. It's neurologically contracting that muscle. So first I'll have them flat with no movement, no joint action at all, to see if they know how to neurologically just lay there and contract their ab muscles. And a lot of times they don't. They don't know how to contract it. So I'll go ahead and lay down, and I'll have maybe a couple of people, or if y'all want to come by since we're a small group, you all can see that or feel it. You're not going to be able to see how big the tape is. We'll have y'all come by. Okay? So he goes, ooh, it doesn't like me in that position, does it?
No, it surely doesn't.
Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. So come on up by.
let's do one, let's go in a row here. Let's just, maybe 2 people can put their hands on my stomach, and then we'll have 2 more. That way we'll go faster. Okay, in an aerobics class, a lot of times what women will do is they'll push out, okay? So they're lifting and they're pushing. So actually they're creating a problem when they do that. But they're so focused on how many reps that they're pushing out, they're not neurologically focused. So I'll have them lay here and I'll say, this is the wrong way, okay, and this is the right way. Did you feel the difference? It didn't poke out, but I'm not sucking it in, I'm not holding my breath, right? And so I'll hold that and I'll make it go stronger all the way down. You feel it? But I'm still able to talk. But a lot of times they'll get that confused with and suck in and hold their breath and not be able to talk. And then I'll have them feel that neurologically so that whenever they do it, I can tell whether or not they're pushing out or whether they're able to contract it. First we work with that before we even initiate any movement. So y'all want to try, did y'all feel the difference? Okay.
Emily, get them on that side.
Get on this side. So she
Thank you. I need a good view.
So here's what we do in a class where women are doing this, okay, and they're lifting and pushing out, okay? They're not even aware they're doing it, okay? So then neurologically, and you can feel like it's strong. Feel it? You feel it up here? Yep. Maybe not so much. There. Okay. All right. Did y'all feel the difference? Okay. Were you going with it? Good to Donna? Okay. So if we're in an aerobics class, this is what happens because as you're moving, that's automatically going to come. Because neurologically you're going so fast, it's hard to get that to stay in. So there. You feel it? Okay. Now, when you take a beginner and when you do that with them, if they can feel that, then I tell them to go home and practice that. Just lay on your bed and practice contracting that muscle so that when we come back, I can tell whether or not neurologically they're strong enough to start initiating the movement. Then we incorporate the movement in steps like that. So then when I go from that point, I go from the point to the ball because the ball allows you, if we do abs, the most effective way to train them is on the ball, but if we do it on the floor, there's no extension. So we need the extension as well as the spinal flexion for the abs to work effectively. So that's why the ball is always better, to get that extension. But then what happens is, after you've taught them how to contract that and you put them on the ball, then it becomes another step in neurologically thinking in their mind that they have to learn. Let me start backwards.
Stay facing me.
Stay facing you. Well, I can't see them.
Well,
but okay. I'll tell them to walk out and lay on the ball comfortably so that their back's in it. And I'll start them out with a short range of motion because neurologically, see, they still have to get it in their head that the ab's working. So I may even take them down here where it's just this much from head, and then I'll tell them to bring it in neutral alignment with the spine so that it's straight. And then from this point, they have to contract the ab muscle. But neurologically in their mind, I tell them, I don't want you to think about getting up because that's what they're going to do. They're thinking, roll up, get up. So in their mind, I stop them right here, and I tell them, pretend there's a glass plate right here, and this glass plate's going to stay right here, and your head doesn't go past this. But in your mind, this muscle runs from rib cage to pelvis. Your muscle's running this way, right? So this muscle is going to pull my upper body up. I'm not going to pull my upper body up to work my muscle. Do you see the reverse order in the process of their thinking? So we have to get here, and we have to say, okay, and then I have to remind them because, see, they're not neurologically connected. And as a trainer, I have to constantly remind them, okay, the glass plate's there, and I want you to think, contract the ab muscle, get that engaged, and then I want that muscle to pull your upper body, which means they have to go very, very slow. Because neurologically, if they're not there, they're going to engage the whole rocking motion. Even if the back's flat, I can still do this and still do it all day long, even if my back is connected to the ball, and not effectively work my abs from top to bottom. So when they get, I'll have them go over and over. Get here to neutral alignment, push down, and make the ab muscle pull the upper body, and I'll tell them that the whole way. And they may even go that short range of motion. That's not very far. Okay, so from right here. That may be all that they can get. Because also, when you're working with somebody and you're retraining them, because 9 times out of 10 I have to retrain somebody with their abs because they've done it wrong in classes, and so we have to start from the very beginning. And so 9 times out of 10, if you do get a person with that's never done abs, they're going to say, my neck hurts, my neck hurts. Well, that's 14 pounds. Roughly, your head weighs about 14 pounds. So yeah, that weight is going to have to be isolated here on that neck muscle. 14 pounds is going to have to hold, right? So they're going to get tired right here through the neck. So that's why another reason you use the short range of motion. And in their mind, I say contract and pull the abs, pull the upper body. You have to keep telling them that over and over until they get that. And one good way to check to see if they're getting it neurologically is touch. I can tell how far they've engaged that muscle, whether it's from here to here or here to the pelvic area. I can tell by touch. I can also tell by the way their body is moving, you know, whether or not they're using the shoulders or, you know, and how fast they're going. If they're going like this, then I know they're not engaging the full amount of the muscle. And what you're trying to get them to do is recruit the muscle fibers from here to here, not just here to here, and not just here to here, but the whole length of where the ab muscle runs. So that takes a lot of training neurologically, and it takes a lot of time, very slow, until they get that. And I guarantee you, if they do it that slow, and you neurologically train them, they will hurt from top to bottom. Another good way to check, or another assessment to know whether or not they're doing it right, is to ask them the next day. I always, whenever I personal train somebody, I'll ask them, were you sore? They say no, then I know neurologically they lost it somewhere along the way. And really, when I'm asking them, it's not really that I need to know, it's confirmation of what I saw. So, you know, 9 times out of 10, I'll be right on the mark about where they were and how sore they were. The other thing is, if they tell me they were sore, I say, how sore were you? Were you sore from here to here? Were you sore from here to here? Were you sore from here to here? Because then that tells me, the next time we train abs, did you get it neurologically from here to here? You lost it neurologically here to here. So now I know what I need to focus on to help them gain that. And with beginners, it usually takes about 6 weeks to train their neurological system. 6 weeks. And that's a long time, because what you're doing is training their brain. You are their reminder. And because they're going to be tired, they're going to be fatigued. It's like in a aerobics class, you remind them of their form when they're getting tired. Well, I'm constantly reminding the whole time that they're going through the movement, because neurologically they're going to get it, and then they're going to let it go. It's kind of like Pilates or yoga. You know, until you practice that state that you're in, you get better at it because you can hang on to it. It's like that with the muscle. To neurologically recruit the muscle, the more you practice it, then you can hang on to it for longer and longer periods of time because of their fatigue and everything else that's combined in it. So, we're going to try like in partners. I thought maybe we could try in partners. Or you could come by and feel my stomach again. Do you think you'd want to do that? Feel it, how it feels on the ball? That it might feel different going through the range of motion and the movement, whereas on the floor they're just flat. Would you like to try that to see how it feels? Okay, so we'll go on twos again. Will I go over there?
No, I mean, everybody's
On this side.
on that
Yeah.
side. Thank you.
Thank you. Here you go.
And y'all look great, by the way.
Oh. All right, I'm going to do it the incorrect way. Okay? Incorrect way would be this. Okay? So I'm just kind of exaggerating and kind of pushing out so that you can feel the difference. Okay? Incorrect or correct way would be get right here, engage the muscle, and make the muscle pull the upper body up. You feel it? Okay? And then bring it down and release it. So I'm going to do it again, bring up to neutral, engage the muscle, and make the muscle pull my upper body up. Okay? Do you feel the difference?
Yeah, you don't have to preach.
There you go. But another
No, because
cue
when you do it wrong, it just
is
pushes
out.
out.
Yeah. And that's what women are doing. Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's all. They're actually, women in aerobics classes are actually training their muscle to push out. Because they're not effectively taking the time to learn it, they're actually making that muscle push out. And then I actually had one lady that came to me that actually, it took me 3 months to retrain her neurologically because her muscle had already been formed out from doing that because she didn't know. Nobody had told her how to contract that. Another cue that you can give clients is that since the muscle runs this way, and we're not thinking about getting up, we're thinking about an accordion. I always tell them to think of it as a accordion. It's like this. So we're trying to push down instead of versus thinking up in our head. So we got to reverse that thinking.
Okay, so we're gonna try it again. Okay, wrong way.
It's so hard for me to do wrong. Okay, you see how not effective that is, okay? And they may get sore after about 500 of them, but that's an endurance thing, okay? So, right way would be bring it up to neutral, engage, and then make that muscle pull my upper body down. You feel it? And then come down and release it. Very good. Up, engage, and then pull the upper body. Right there. And that may be all I give them in range of motion because that's all they're going to be able to handle. Now, as they get stronger, you can take them out here and give them more to lift and more to contract. You see what I'm saying? Start with a short range of motion. Okay, wrong way. Wrong way. And they have to be able to touch this to know. They have to. Okay? All right, now we're right here. Engage. Feel it? That muscle is engaged all the way from here to here, okay? But if you don't train them that way, they're going to constantly do it the wrong way. Are there any questions on that or anything that you think I haven't covered or anything that you would
When you tell them, like, I tell them is, think about their hips being tilted towards their belly button in towards the ball. I mean, is that?
Sometimes that works, but the thing is, I found that when I use that cue, they're sucking in. Somehow they're going to suck in and hold their breath. Yeah. So that's why I was telling them to go back, put their hand on their stomach. Now that they know they've touched me and they felt the right way, I want them to go home and practice laying in bed and learning how to contract that. And then as they neurologically get stronger, they'll be able to make it stronger. They'll be able to make that connection before you start even putting a movement in there. Because the minute you put a movement in, that's one more thing they have to think about neurologically. So they better get real good at contracting it first, and then add that movement pattern in there of the spinal extension and spinal flexion. If you progress it, then they're going to get it. But if you just put them on the ball or you put them doing any work, sorry guys, I don't know what is popping. I've got it off. I guess I should turn that down. But if you put them in that progressive step, they're going to be more successful when you put it with the movement. Does that answer? Did I answer your question, or did that seem to answer? To me, cueing it is to get them to understand neurologically. The cues for me are think of it as an accordion. Think in your mind that it's going this way, that you're not going up with it.
Yeah, it's so hard to do that when you've got an aerobics class. You've got 15 people in there, and you're all on the ball at one time to tell them, this is not a personal training class.
Right. And the only thing I could see there that would work, that you could do, is in an aerobics class, maybe take one day out of the week, if you're doing it like 5 days a week or whatever, and say, okay, guys, we're gonna go over correct form on this. This is what have them partner up, have them do what I did, group them off, and say we're gonna spend 20 minutes learning how to do this right, because the whole point of why they're in there is so that they can get an effective workout. And if we're not teaching them and educating them, then we're not doing our part to teach and train them right. So when I was in an aerobics class, that's what I would do. When I had my classes, I'd say this, and then the other thing too, for people that are aerobics instructors, and I saw this so much because it was always abs. But if you think about the body being balanced, low back is in there too. And I know my students hated it because all they wanted to focus on was abs, but I was like, we're doing low back first, and we're doing 5 to 10 minutes of it, and then we're doing abs, equal amounts. Because the front of the body and the back of the body have got to be equal. I said you wouldn't work your biceps and not work your triceps. So it's the same way. We get so focused and isolated on the abs that we're missing a main component, which is the low back, which holds that together. And
So I would train them on low back in aerobics classes, whether they like it or not, because we're there to help them be the best as far as their health of their body. And if we're not in there doing that job, then we're doing a disservice to them. So whether they like it or not, it's like a child. I'm like, well, if you don't like it, then I guess you can leave. But we're doing low back, you know, because I'm in here to help you to better your body. And this is what I know about the body, and it needs to be this way. And you know, you'll get some people that, you know, they just have it in their head they've got to do 20 minutes of ab and no low back, and you know, you just keep trying to educate them and keep trying to bring that out.
What are some of the low back that you do?
The low back?
The back will be strong and this is the weaker. What do you do with the low?
Okay, that's a good question. I like that one because I love working low back. I try not to use the ball with low back because it's real hard. I mean, you can use it, but for beginners, it's kind of hard because of the stability. So really to effectively get that, like I said, take it in progressions. So what I'll do with my classes, I'll say, and here's classes, I still teach aerobics too, so I know what you're talking about, so I like those questions. But when we go in the aerobics class, I tell them, I want y'all to watch how I'm doing this, and then when I start cueing you, you don't look up at me, because low back requires that your head stay in alignment with your body. And I said, y'all got ears, you can hear the cueing, you know, whether it's 2 counts up or 2 counts down, they don't have to be looking at me to hear cueing. So I'll say, get on the floor, and I'll say, you know, keep your eyes to this floor. Because the minute, you know, you start doing this, I want you to start using your audio to listen, because you shouldn't have to look up to me. And so the very basic would be eyes to the floor, head neutral alignment with the spine, and you're just going to raise up and down. It's a short range of motion, up and down. We'll start with that, then we'll add the feet to it. But then I'll stress to them, the abs have to be a cue when I'm cueing that is, keep the abs tucked in, because if not, they're going to push when they lift up. They're going to push out, exhale, and lift up. So I'm constantly cueing. Keep the abs in, but keep it where you can breathe, and it's a short range of motion. A lot of people think they got to lift real high. It's a tiny, tiny range of motion. It may be a half an inch off the floor. That'll be level 1. Level 2 would be this one, which is, you know, hands and knees, okay? And it's not this, and it's not up like that, you know, neutral alignment. And then that would be the next progression to that level. Now I have even in aerobics classes, and I don't have a step here, but I've even taken it to a harder level, but you really have to be careful on the safety cueing. They'll come into my step class and they'll see 8 risers on each other. They're like, we're not stepping on that, are we? And I'm like, no, we're using it as a prop. But the next level would be to take, let's see if I could do it with that and maybe demonstrate with somebody how to do it. I'm so good at modifying stuff. Hold on. Let's see, who'll be my demonstrator? Sandy's somebody short. Are you short?
Yeah, material will be.
Okay, let's just pretend this is a step with risers. So I'm going to use it as a tool. And what you want to do when you're cueing them for safety, there's a lot of stuff involved in this. So I have to make sure when I tell people this, first of all, I ask them if they have any low back problems. Because if they do, this is a very advanced movement for low back. If I have somebody that says, I've got problems, I said, then you're staying right on the floor, right where you're at. This is for people who have pretty strong backs and they want to take it up a notch. So what I'll do is I'll tell them to get on this. This is the edge of the step, we'll pretend, okay? And I'll tell them to put their hip bone on the edge with their legs hanging off, okay? And I will sit, or with their partners, we'll partner up, and they'll put their hands here and I'll show you what I'm going to do. So go ahead and lay on that. Now walk out. Okay, so she's supporting her body weight. She has to have pretty good upper body strength too. Here's another safety cue. The person that's their partner has to sit on their thigh, no knee joints. Sit on their thigh and lean on their calf, okay? So in the step class, I want you to sit on her thigh. Are you okay? Oh! And calf. Now cross your arms against your body. Now go down. Keep your head neutral alignment with the spine and come up. This is a very, very advanced low back move, okay? She's going to try to pull up in neutral alignment with her spine using her low back, but that's very advanced. Okay, go ahead and put your hands down. And I have done this in my aerobics classes. I've gotten to a level where I can say, okay, everybody grab a step with risers, partner up. We'll count out, 20 reps, and then we'll swap partners and do the same thing. But you have to really, really, everybody knows safety, safety, safety. So you ask them if they have any low back problems, because, in America, we got those disc problems and everything else. And if they do, they stay on the floor. If they have really major back problems, I'd say, well, then you need to get a doctor's okay to even do whatever you do, at home as far as strengthening your back. Okay? So, anyways, that was a good question on low backs. I'm glad you brought that up because I always do low backs in class. Always. And I do it in my personal training too. I never leave it out.
I do one that I showed you.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah.
Probably have her.
Oh, I thought she was going to be right here. The plank.
Right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, and that's good. It'd be good for low back, but I count that as an overall total body thing. Yeah. Core. Yeah. But as far as isolating out the muscle group of the back, that would be, the ones I showed you would be isolation. That would be a core, upper, lower, middle, everything. Yeah. Yeah, that would
What do
be.
you think about that exercise on the block?
The low back, the only thing I don't like about that, like I said, let me see, where's my ball? The only thing is, I find more people have a problem trying to adjust their feet and balance and get the extension that they need. Now, it's good, but I guess it's a little bit, I think it would be harder to cue in a group setting. I would use it in a personal trainer setting more than I would a group setting, I think. Just because of the cueing aspect and trying to get them to not, wobble, because they're going to constantly be trying to adjust their feet to the length and they're going to use, they're again in their mind, with it easier to, remember how I told you about reversing the movement in your mind? They're going to just try whatever they can do to get up instead of, using the back muscle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? Is that okay?